In this video, we're going to start designing our database to store the data coming from our form. So for our database, we will be using SQL Server Express, and we will be designing at least two tables based on what we have here. One to store the rental record and another one to store the type of car, because, well, this is a drop-down list and that list of cars is subject to change. Maybe one gets added, one gets taken away. So we want to create a table where we're actually storing the list of cars available for rental. So our first step is to install SQL Express Edition. So if you already have SQL Server, then you're fine. But if you don't, then you can proceed to go to microsoft.com/, I'll give you the link, or you can just Google SQL Server. And then when you get to this site, you just click downloads, and the one that we're interested in is Express. So you can get developer, you can get Express. Express is, it's free and it's a smaller edition, so it takes less to install, less time, and fewer resources. But then developer is fully featured and it takes a longer time. So for this purpose, I would encourage that you just get Express. You won't be losing much along the way anyway. And then it's a straightforward installation step. You can check out my YouTube video on installing it if you need some more guidance. But you can go ahead and install it and the management studio. And then I'm going to just pick up from the fact that the management studio has been installed, the server has been installed, and then we start designing our database. Now, after installing SQL Server Express, you'll be able to open the Management Studio, and then you'll be able to log into your server. So you'll see the name of your PC, a backslash, and the name SQL Express. And once you see that, you can just click Connect. If you don't see that, then you probably you can drop me a line and ask me for some guidance. Otherwise, if you click connect and you're unable to connect, then you probably want to go into your services, check for SQL Express and make sure that that service is running, and then you can try again. Either way, feel free to reach out to me for further detail. Now, once you have connected to your server, you can start building your database. So I'm going to just right click and click New Database. This launches a dialog box. So I'm going to call my database Car Rental. And then I click OK. Once that database is created, it will appear in the Object Explorer to your left. So I'm just going to drill down, go to Tables, right click, and click New. And I'm creating a new table. So the first table that I'm creating, like I said, is Car Rental. So I'll say, the table is for the car rental record. So the data that I intend to collect would be in keeping with what I would have designed my form to collect. So I want the customer name, the cost, the day rented, date returned, and the type of car. All right. So type of car will be a foreign key. So at this stage, I'm hoping everybody understands basic database design and why we have foreign keys and primary keys. If not, then you can check out my other course on database development. I have Microsoft SQL Server for Everyone, and I have MySQL Database Development and Mastery. So both those courses bring you end-to-end with database development and explain why we have foreign keys and relationships and all those things. So I'm not going to spend this course going through those details. I'm going to continue assuming that you have the basic information. So we need a table to collect these fields. And then we have another section for a foreign key. And we're creating another table just to keep the types of cars, and that will inform the drop-down list here. So back in my SQL Server Management Studio, I'm going to go ahead and create the car rental table, first with an ID of type int, and it will be a primary key, sorry. So I right click, say set primary key, and I want it to be auto incrementing. So I go down to identity selection and say is identity is yes. So I just double click the no and it becomes yes. And that means it will count automatically, right? The other field I want is customer name. And this one can be an nvarchar maybe 100 characters long. Next, I want the date rented. And SQL actually has a date time data type. Also want date returned. And this also will be a date time data type. I do believe I had cost, so I want cost. And this would be a double. So they do have a double. Wait, do they have double? Some have double, some have floats. Let me just verify that double is a data type. It is not, it's actually decimal. Sorry about that. So for cost, we're using decimal, and we can leave that default setting there. And then I'm going to say car or type of car ID. So type of car ID, and that's integer. We can leave it at that. Then we can click save. So we can click the save here or Control S, and then we're saving this as car rental record. All right. So the table name is car rental record. And once again, it will have all the basic details surrounding an actual car rental. So if I walk into the place, rent a car, and they put me in that application, the expectation is that when they fill out this form with my information and the details of the rental, it will get saved in this table. All right. So the next thing that I want to do is create another table, and that is just for the list of cars. So I go back to Object Explorer, right click, open a new table, and then I want an ID, and this is integer, right click, set it as primary key, and then make it identity. Scrolling through the properties, going to identity selection, dropping it down, is identity should be yes. All right. And then I want the name of the vehicle. So I just want ID and name. That's literally all I want. I want each car to have its own ID, unique identifier, and its name, right? And I'm going to make that an nvarchar of size 50. All right. And then I save this table, and I'm calling this types of cars. So that's all I want. The next thing I need to do is make a relationship between the ID or the primary key for the type of car and the column that is supposed to be the foreign key for the type of car. So I just right click anywhere inside of the design view for either table really, and then I say relationships. Well, actually no, not for either table. I want it for car rental record. So I right click inside of car rental record, and then I go to relationships, click add, and then I drop down the tables and specifications. Well, I don't need to drop it down. I just need the ellipsis really. So I just click it, click this ellipsis button, and then it's going to say, where is the primary key table? The primary key is coming from the type of car table or the types of cars table. And the column that is the primary key is ID. And then the field in car rental that it matches to is type of car ID. So I drop down, and then I'm just making the link. So I'm saying that the primary key from the types of cars table should reflect in the type of car ID column in the car rental record table. All right. And then click OK, click close, and then save. And then all things being equal, everything should be all right. If you get an error at that point, just make sure that they're both int. So here in the foreign key table or in the car rental record table, this should be int, and the primary key should also be int. If those steps are foreign to you or you're not familiar with them, once again, I encourage you to just go through my course, MySQL Database Development and Mastery, or Microsoft SQL Server for Everyone. Those two courses will get you up to speed with everything you need to know about database design. So for now, that's it for designing our database that we developed to accompany our Winforms application. In the next video, we will look at how we actually link this application to the database.